You know I'm gonna pick on you back about that.
We're good.
I know.
Right. Ready?
Yeah.
Okay, and we're back on the record. Mr. Holcomb, are you prepared to proceed to cross-examination?
Yes, thank you. Mr. Cavanella, I assume that you try to base your findings in your investigative report. It was based on provisions in the partially owned provisions of the town charter.
Sorry, did I base them on that?
Well-
Partially, yes.
Like you read over the town charter and there were certain obligations, and that was part of your analysis, correct?
Yes,
And another part of your analysis is the investigation, the interviews, and the facts that you acquired, correct?
I didn't hear that, the fact that you acquired?
Yes.
Thank you.
You take that role very seriously, correct?
yes, sir.
Okay. And I believe the first finding that you made in your, Mr. DeCello asked you, he said that the town manager was responsible for conducting an annual audit, correct?
I don't know what Mr. DeCola asked. You asked me what he asked?
Well, I'm asking you, like you said, yeah, when Mr. DeCello asked you that the town manager was mandated to conduct an annual audit, I believe you said yes, correct?
Might be responsible for it, yes.
Yes. Okay. And that was based on your reading of the town charter?
That and the job requirements.
Okay. Well, when you say job requirements, are you talking about that job, the description?
Yes, that and witness interviews, yes, sir.
Okay. Well, I'm just talking about the job description that you read doesn't say anything about her mandating to do an annual audit, correct?
Without looking at it, I don't know if it says that per se, but it lays out what they're supposed to do.
Okay, well, I can get to it, I'm sure. Excuse me. It's Exhibit 28, I believe, under job description.
I have it if you read it to me.
Well, yeah, I would just, it doesn't say anything about, it doesn't mandate her to conduct an annual audit, does it?
Not specifically, no.
Okay. But you did testify that the town charter mandated that the town manager conduct an annual audit, correct?
I believe it said that it requires an annual audit be conducted.
Well, I believe your testimony was, it was the town manager that was required to do the annual audit, wasn't it your testimony?
Responsible for it, I believe is what I said.
And that was based on what the language is in the town charter that you reviewed?
In part, yes, sir.
Okay. If you go, there's a town charter right there in front of you, there's a,
Okay.
and under section 23 is the annual audit.
Question for council, are there multiple copies or just a single copy?
I have a single copy of the charter. I'm sorry, I didn't bring my copies.
I happen to have a copy that can be run off, if that would be
I
helpful.
got another, I have an
An
extra copy
unstapled
also.
copy.
I can get one if you want to go run it right there.
Is council okay if we make multiple copies for the hearing panel?
Why don't we do that?
Sure.
Okay, do you want to agree on which copy's gonna go?
I mean, I think they're both the same.
I assume they're both the same.
Yeah.
Doesn't
It doesn't matter
matter.
to me.
Okay,
Thanks.
who off the record? Thank you. It would be intent to enter that into the record?
Yes, I think that makes sense. I didn't realize it was gonna be entered, but it makes sense now.
Will we enter that as a joint exhibit or as a?
I think that's fine as a joint exhibit.
Okay.
Have you had a chance to review?
Hang on.
All right, we're back on the record. We will continue with Ms. Todd's cross-examination of Mr. Campanella. And we will enter into the record an exhibit that will be marked as joint one, which is the town charter.
Thank you. I was asking you questions regarding your you had previously testified that the town charter had mandated the town manager to conduct an audit every year, correct?
If that's what you said, I believe the question was the town manager responsible for it? I said, yes, she's required to conduct the town audit.
And you said she was required pursuant to the town charter, correct?
Correct.
Okay, and just looking at your investigative report, do you have a copy of your report?
I didn't know which exhibit you wanted to.
Sure, I'm sorry, I'm going back and forth a
That's
little bit.
okay.
I believe the report is
It's 20.
Page 5, under allegation number 1, paragraph 2, under allegation number 1, failure to ensure completion of audits. Excuse me, it's page, paragraph 1, or no, let's see, oh, excuse me, page 6, last paragraph. First sentence, in
Wait,
your
hang on, I didn't, first sentence, did you say?
first paragraph, last paragraph, excuse me, first sentence. The town charter assigns the town manager responsible for maintaining accurate financial records and ensuring timely completion of audits. Would you agree that the town charter does not assign the town manager to ensure timely completion of audits?
My inference from it is that she's responsible for the financial
I
records.
didn't, inference, did you say?
Inference, yes, responsible for the financial records and audits. I don't have it memorized, sir, but I can certainly take a look if you have some hints what to look.
Yeah, if you go to section 23 of the town charter under annual audit,
What page number is that, sir?
it's page 13.
Okay, I'm there, sir.
Okay, and just to make it clear, it doesn't say inference in your report. It says the town charter assigns the town manager to ensure completion of audits, correct?
This is maintaining accurate financial records and ensuring the timely completion of audits. That's what my report says.
And it says that's mandated by the town charter, correct?
I said it assigns responsibility.
Okay, assigns responsibility. Now, if you look under section 22, under annual audit, is there anywhere in there that it assigns responsibility to the town manager to complete the audits?
I don't see those words verbatim in here, no, sir.
Do you see those words at all regarding town manager under annual audit?
No, sir.
It actually assigns the mayor, along with the consent of the elected officials of town council, to, at an annual meeting, to appoint an accountant to be the auditor of accounts of the town of Greenwood, correct?
Yes, sir.
So it says nothing about mandating the town manager to conduct an annual audit, does it?
No, sir.
Would you agree that that is counter to your finding on page 6 of your report?
No, I don't agree. It's counter because that encompasses not just the town charter, but also interviews, responsibilities, and everything coming from the witnesses as well as the job descriptions. That was part of it, as I testified earlier.
Would you agree that that statement that you put in your report saying the town charter assigns her responsibility is incorrect?
That's what's written there, sir.
Would you agree that's incorrect?
Depends on how you want to interpret it. Again, it signs the town manager is not in the verbatim, so I would agree that that's not in there verbatim.
Well, show me it in there at all, under section 23.
I told you straight up, it's not in there. It's drawn from responsibilities assigned to her as determined by witnesses, by interviews, and job functions that the responsibility of all the financial management falls under, and the witnesses, including the mayor, said his assigned duties were assigned to her as the town manager to complete the audits.
To be fair, that's not what you put in your report. You put the town charter,
That's fair, that's what it says there.
okay? And you're not gonna concede that's incorrect?
If you want me to say that's incorrect, that's incorrect. The town charter doesn't assign it.
And actually, it says that mayor, at every annual meeting, it'll be the mayor of town council who'll appoint an auditor, correct?
That's what it says in the charter.
Okay, in your investigation that you conducted, did you review all the annual meetings since, Ms. Todd became the town manager back in 2021?
The annual meetings or the,
Did you review any meeting minutes where this took place, section 23, as mandated under the town charter?
I reviewed minutes as it was listed. I didn't go through every minute, every year for all the years. I don't know what you're asking, but that was a determination made from assignment given to her by the mayor and what her job responsibilities are.
Okay. I'm talking about what's in this town, the town charter is a law, correct?
I don't know if that's the law. I'm not a lawyer, sir.
Okay, so, well, the town charter is what you were following, you reviewed it, correct?
Yes, sir.
I'm
And
gonna
you-
object this to form, I hadn't, but I'm going to now, because he keeps characterizing the charter, he's asking questions about section 23, which is not a question about the charter, it's about section 23. So, if council would like to rephrase and ask about section 23, that's fine. But the charter is a very lengthy document that includes, for example, a section about the town manager, so I object this to form. He's asking about the section, not the charter in its entirety, and is conflating what he's asking and confusing the testimony.
Mr. Pollock, what is your specific question to the witness?
Well, you agree that section 23, oh, excuse me, well, what I was asking is you reviewed the town charter, right? In regard to audits, correct?
For audits, yes, sir.
Okay, and I assume that you reviewed section 23 prior to drafting your report, correct?
I did read it, yes, sir.
Okay, and you agree that section 23 is what governs the audits of the town, correct?
Certainly, it's one of them. I don't know if there's other paragraphs, but
Okay. Well, do you know of any other paragraphs in the town charter that governs audits?
I'm not aware of any.
And just for completeness, the town charter does deal with the duties of the town manager, correct?
It does.
And do you recall the duties of the town manager, it's saying anything about her participation in audits?
I'd have to look at it, and if you have the section, ease of
Sure.
time.
It's section 19, page 11.
Thank you. It's lengthy, give me a moment.
Sure.
I believe your question was, does it specifically say audits? Was that correct?
Yes.
It does not specifically say audits, sir.
So do you agree that, I know you reviewed this before today, correct?
Yes,
That you can't, today, you can't state anything mandating the town manager to conduct audits every year, correct?
from just the charter, no, sir.
And in your review of all the records you've reviewed, did you see that section 23, the annual audit, was that complied with by town council?
Is it what was complied, or
What did town council comply with the mandate of section 23 regarding annual audits?
the annual audits weren't completed, so I don't have an answer for that, other than I can tell you that they were not completed.
Did you review any times when any minutes where the town council appointed an accountant to be auditor of accounts of the town of Greenwood every year?
There were minutes on different years with different subcontractors appointed, accountants.
Do you recall? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
That's right, I don't know which ones they were, but yes, it was in minutes.
Do you recall, was that done annually?
I don't know if it was done annually, sir.
And do you recall what document you reviewed that stated that?
That stated,
That there was an appointment of an annual,
as I mentioned, I went through the minutes, sir, and your question was there conversation there about appointing accountants or subcontractors? Yes, there was in minutes throughout the years, the ones that I reviewed.
okay. Do you know what years there were?
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay. Now, would you agree that based on the charter, that town council and the mayor are actually responsible for the audits of the town?
That's what the charter says.
Now, you've conducted hundreds of investigations, correct?
Yes, sir.
And you've authored many investigative reports?
I have, sir.
And you were a former police officer, right?
Yes, sir.
And I believe Mr. DiCarlo was saying you've done internal affairs?
Yes, sir.
Now, in your reports of internal affairs, would you, when you were quoting some witness or saying collaborating evidence, would you actually name the individual that you interviewed that would, based on the fact that you would put in the report?
Depends on what type of report I was doing, sir.
Okay, let's say it's an internal affairs report.
For a police department,
Yes.
internally, names of witnesses would be listed internally for a police department matter.
And what about just for any kind of investigation into an employment matter? Wouldn't you want to, if you interviewed, if you had a fact that you were asserting in a report, wouldn't you name the individual that stated that fact?
Not in certain reports. Most of my reports sometimes are executive summaries back to the client or the attorney, or the reports such as this where it's common in workplace investigations to not specifically identify witnesses, but to state by identifying as witness or witnesses stated.
Doesn't that make it hard for the person reading the report to know who said what?
Not necessarily.
Okay, do you keep thorough records of your investigation?
I do.
Did you record all your interviews during this investigation?
No, I did not.
Do you have a universal list of everyone you've interviewed in this investigation?
In this one?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And can you tell us everybody you've interviewed?
I could. If you want me to go through and name all the folks.
Well, don't you think it's important, in your report, you say multiple witnesses said this, correct?
Yes, sir.
Isn't it impossible for us to know who said what without knowing who those witnesses were and what they actually said?
I would agree with your statement.
Okay. So I understand you kept a transcript of Ms. Todd's interview, correct?
Yes,
Or
sir.
you created a transcript, I should say,
Yes, sir.
and a recording. Did you create recordings for all your interviews?
I did not.
Did you make notes of all your interviews?
I did.
And why didn't you include the witness names in this report?
As stated earlier, it does that to protect the witnesses, the identity of witnesses. Oftentimes, workplace investigations turn out that people return to the same environment, and it's designed to allow more cohesive reintegration of the parties involved.
If you were drafting a police report, you would never just put multiple witnesses said this, right?
For a police
People
report,
object this to relevance. I'm not sure why we're asking about police reports, which have to do with crimes, of Title 11 or whatever, not, where we're here talking about today. I just don't see how that's even remotely relevant.
Sustained.
Now, did you record any other interviews with any other witnesses?
one other interview, sir.
And who was that?
That was with Vice Mayor Massey.
And why did you do that with Vice Mayor Massey?
The same reason why I did it with Ms. Todd, that he insisted that he wanted to record it, as in Ms. Todd, and my practice is I don't record, but if the other party will only speak to me by recording, then I make it a practice to make sure that I record as well, so that we have two records to exist to make sure that they match.
Now, you state that one of the reasons why you don't list what each witness said is because to protect their privacy,
Yes, sir.
but there are witnesses you disclose what they said in here, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so including the acting town manager, you list what she says partially?
There are some, I believe, quotes or information from that witness, yes, sir.
So how do you pick and choose which ones you put and which ones you don't put?
It's a great question. Sometimes when providing information such as the specifics regarding accounts, that it provides a context and validity for the reader, in particular the client, to know where that information came from. So it's to validate it.
And you interviewed different members of the panel, correct?
This panel,
Yes.
I'm sorry, I interviewed everybody on council.
Okay. And specifically the individuals that are adjudicating here today?
Gentlemen, is it- yes, sir.
And did those individuals, when you interviewed Mr. Donovan, what was his testimony to you, statements to you?
I don't have it memorized, but his testimony was about functions, his observations, his interactions with Ms. Todd as a town manager, his responsibilities on the council, and he provided that information to me.
And did he make factual accusations against Ms. Todd?
Without looking back at my notes, the accusations would have included difficulty in receiving information, lack of response to emails, not completing financial records, not seeing to that the audits were completed, continuing matters of what she was and wasn't doing.
Okay, so he did make, in your interviews with him, he made factual accusations that you considered as part of your report, correct?
Yes, sir.
And is that some of the individuals that are listed as multiple witnesses or members of this council?
Yes, sir.
Does that include Councilman Moran?
Includes all of them, sir.
And what did Councilman Moran state to you?
Again, his interview and very much aligned with other council members, what his functions are, what his roles, what Ms. Todd's role was, discussing the audits and information coming back and forth, and basically the same as all the other members.
Okay, did you take in consideration, did he say anything positive about Ms. Todd?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and did you put that in your report?
I don't know if that's specifically in here, but all the witnesses have positive things to say and things of concern.
And what positive things did you include in your report?
I don't know if there's, how they're identified as positive, but statements in here, my critique is supporting the allegations. The allegations were of things that she was not doing, not of things that she was doing.
Okay. Did the mayor, you talked to the mayor?
Oh, yes.
Did you include factual allegations he made in your interviews as part of this report?
As did with all of them, yes.
And Councilman Nelson?
The same answer, yes, sir.
Did you, what kind of investigation did you look into conflicts of interest regarding the council members and Ms. Todd?
I'd ask about their relationship with them and their roles, and my job then was to interview them, obtain the facts, and then compare their information to other witnesses and determine credibility of the witnesses.
Okay, and did you understand that Ms. Todd had made grievances against some of these individuals?
One of them, because that person, one of the council members actually offered that, and although presented it in a professional manner, factually, and yes, that was considered.
Okay. Did you consult with any kind of a certified auditor in your investigation?
My conversations were all just with their PKS subcontractor. That was my conversations.
And you reviewed a number of documents as part of your report, correct?
I did.
And you don't list any of those documents, you don't list those documents in your report?
It's not listed here.
I mean, you don't list them in the report.
No, I didn't list them in this report.
So basically, you're asking the council to take your word that these are the documents you reviewed?
Yes,
And what documents did you review?
I reviewed minutes from meetings, email communications, as mentioned, the charter, the handbook, audio tapes, videotapes, reports that were submitted, mentioned the PKS report of the most recent, of the audit from 2020. So whatever documentation was provided is what I reviewed.
And is there, do you have documents, do you have a universal list of documents that you reviewed?
They are basically reflected in the exhibits, but yes, I don't have a list, but I have, not in the report, but I have provided a list and what I reviewed to the council that submitted the report, and those are the exhibits that we are here looking at today.
Okay, so the documents you reviewed as part of your report are part of the exhibits that the town is presenting.
Yeah, they're the exhibits that the town presented.
Now, you have any documents demonstrating that of Ms. Todd refusing to provide documents to the auditors?
I have emails that indicate they have not received stuff, numerous emails requesting the information, showing delays, and communications and interviews with them, the difficulty they have receiving it, the numerous requests.
And do you know if those delays were called by do you understand that there was delays caused by the town manager before Ms. Todd?
Before Ms. Todd? No, there was no indication because the audits before were all done in a timely manner.
Did you review a public meeting with the auditor from PKS on May 14, 2025?
The minutes for that,
Or the public hearing, what was stated during that hearing?
I don't have it top of recollection. If it was one of the minutes I looked at minutes, I don't know every one of them, if that's what the title of that was, and you show me the document, if it's in the exhibits.
Well, it's not in your exhibits. What I'm asking you is PKS did a presentation to council on May 14, 2025.
I believe you, but I did not read their presentation, no, sir.
Okay, did you watch their presentation?
I did not.
You didn't think that was important to watch in regard with the status of the audit?
I had information from them, updates where it was, and enough information. I did not review or listen to their entire presentation.
Do you understand that during that meeting, they represented that there was no instances of non-compliance?
I don't know what they said. I didn't listen to the meeting.
Would that be something important for you to know as part of your report?
Could be, yes, sir.
They also stated that the town needed to hire more people for the accounting.
I read that in the report that came out.
Did you understand that previous phase stated to the council that previous records had to be recreated because of issues with the previous town manager?
I've read that in other documents, yes, sir.
So you knew as part of your report that there were prior issues with bank records previous to Ms. Todd, correct?
Well, the information I have was not previous. They were right at the time, I believe, when she was out on leave. And she told me something had happened. They deleted some records when she was out on personal leave.
You mean this is your questioning of Ms. Todd?
When I was talking with Ms. Todd, she had indicated that while she was out on leave is when those records were deleted.
When did you interview with somebody from PKS?
I don't have the exact date, but it was during my investigation. It was a telephone interview,
And how long was the interview?
maybe 20 minutes.
Do you know what questions you asked them?
Not specifically, but it would have been asking questions, tell me about the email, tell me about the audits, tell me about the flow of information from Ms. Todd, flow of information from the town of Greenwood, and interactions with the mayor and other council members trying to validate what witnesses and Ms. Todd had told me.
Okay. And at some point, so you're saying you never learned from any other source that there were problems with the records prior to Ms. Todd?
Now, I have read emails, sir, on that, sorry to be confusing, but there were emails about records from back in her early days of things that were deleted by a previous vendor, and I'm sorry, I don't know the vendor's name.
Do you recall when Ms. Todd actually started working as a town manager?
I believe it was in 2019 or shortly before that, right around that time frame. I can look in the front of my report if you want me to get exact. I have it here.
Do you think that's a pretty important date? As far as, you realize we're at a hearing for regarding the termination of Ms. Todd, right?
but I don't have every date memorized. Sir, I do a lot of investigations, so to answer your question, she was hired by the town of Greenwood in 2019, which my recollection was correct.
She was not the town manager in 2019.
Nope, she advanced up to the town manager at a time after that. I believe it was in 2020.
Do you know that it was actually, she became the acting town manager on March 20th, 2021?
It could be, I don't have my notes in front of me, but it wasn't in 2019.
Do you think that's important? Well, we're here about her performance as a town manager, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and you understand, one of these big issues is what she did as town manager, right?
And I agree, and I have her dates in my notes and interview. I know, I just don't recall right in front of you what it is, but yes, I had clear dates on when she was hired, when she advanced to town manager, and then looking at the audits and things beyond that.
Would you agree that Miss Todd should not be held accountable for problems that happened previously to her being town manager?
Not entirely.
Okay.
She was hired as a financial clerk, so 2019, she was working as a financial clerk. So there was, to me, demonstrated that she has knowledge of financial makings of and some involvement in the town itself.
Okay, and do you know what exact that involvement was?
She went through, and the job responsibilities was a myriad of everything to include handling finances and deposits and record keeping and reconciliation.
Just to make clear, you did not watch the public meeting with the auditor on May 14, 2025?
That's correct.
You did not see their presentation?
I think I already answered that. No, I did not see it in its entirety.
Did they talk, do you know that they actually, one of the problems was that the switching of accounting software?
I did read that somewhere.
And how much did you investigate about that, and how much it caused problems in the delay of audits?
I didn't investigate it beyond confirming that they switched vendors, and I think Ms. Todd had mentioned that they switched vendors.
Do you recall them switching banks and that caused the issue?
I don't know if they switched banks or.
You didn't, would it be important for you to know that during that May 15, 2020, May 14, 2025 meeting, that the accounting firm represented that there was no disagreements with management and they were not locked out?
I don't know if you say so. I said I didn't read that or didn't watch it, so I don't know what they said specifically.
You recall them, you recall PKS was hired in 2021?
I don't have the exact date memorized when they started their contract, sir.
I'm gonna ask you to look at some exhibits in my binder. Go. You can just go to exhibit 2, please.
Just give me a second, because I got limited
Sure.
space here.
I
I'm
understand.
trying to keep these things somewhat organized.
I appreciate that.
Alright. The exhibits that you're referencing?
We had given you
I-
a copy.
Yeah, I don't have one. Let's see. That's yours. I don't know if you have one that I can refer to while you're doing that.
Let's see.
Anthony, I could share with Mayor.
Okay, that'd be helpful. Thank you.
Yep. All right, appreciate it.
I'm sorry, what was the exhibit you were referencing?
We're going to exhibit 2.
I'm gonna object to the introduction of this exhibit.
What's the basis of the objection?
Basically, objection, and I'll be objecting to all similar exhibits, but
Say that again?
I said I'll be objecting to all similar exhibits, so it probably is easiest to just to get this out of the way for the sake of the record, but, we just heard testimony from the investigator. We also heard, about a representation made by Ms. Todd's counsel regarding, her possession of documents. And, the investigator also reached out after the interview was over to ask for the revision of anything that would be helpful to assess and determine So, for two reasons. One, because there was nothing provided after that request from the investigator, and two, because we now have a further elaboration beyond what I introduced prior to the hearing today about representations that Ms. Todd made about the fact that she didn't have documents that were confidential, sensitive town documents in her possession, and I think it is therefore unequitable, and that she should be stopped from relying on such documents now, having made multiple representations through counsel and through other sources that she doesn't have any documents like this. That's the nature of my objection.
Any response?
This is the town council, they have the document, it's the town council, it wasn't the Janet Todd. This is July 24th, 2023, and no one, there's no representation that they did not have these documents to provide to their independent investigator, and there's no representation that Ms. Todd took documents that weren't already in the possession of the town, and she didn't, so I'm perplexed by the objection, quite frankly.
I'm going to overrule the objection. Questions regarding relevance and materiality, I'm sure will come, but as far as provenance, they can come in.
Have you ever seen this document?
Don't know if it was this one specifically, but there were, when I went through the audit and records of that such, sir, there were some correspondence with this company. I don't know sure if it's this one specifically. This Wigglesworth, Leighton, I'm not sure these are the current or prior or previous vendor. But it looks familiar, but I can't say for certain that I've actually seen this document.
Did you do a pre-deep dive into the auditing process of the town of Greenwood for the last couple of years since Ms. Todd was the town manager?
The actual process of auditing?
Or, why, how they audited it, why the delays and all that? The investigation was into the audits, right?
No, it was the completion, not the actual physical audit. I didn't review the actual auditing process and with the financial parts of it. That's not my area. I'm looking at what was assigned to Ms. Todd by the council as other duties as assigned. Were they completed? I was given information that they were not completed, the timelines and the fact that they were not of record. So I would be looking at were they completed or not completed, and who was assigned the task to see that they were completed, not how they actually complete the function.
I understand that, but part of it is, was Ms. Todd taking action to complete these audits, right?
She was taking actions, yes, sir.
Okay, and do you recall, this is not actually, the Wigglesworth, Leighton, Moyers, and Chance, do you recall, were not actually hired to conduct the audit, right?
I don't know what they were hired for.
That was not part of your investigation?
Again, you're presenting me with this, sir, and I said, I don't know if I actually looked at this, but without looking here, they said they are hired. This letter from June or July 2023, you're asking me to look at here, said they're pleased to confirm their acceptance and understanding of services to be provided, and it lists out what they're going to do.
So I'm just gonna object again, now that the witness has answered as to the ability for him to confirm that this is what it purports to be. And he's saying he doesn't exactly recall reviewing it, so I'm not sure how he can answer questions about it. And I'll note that there was an objection before of a similar nature with respect to Exhibit 12 that was sustained.
And as far as that goes, an objection over further questioning on the content, unless there's demonstration that are reviewed and has knowledge of it, I will have to sustain those objections.
Okay, so I'm not gonna enter an exhibit, but you've never seen this you don't remember reviewing this document?
I think that's what I said, yes, sir.
Okay, I just wanna make sure. And you don't know that, are you aware that, the auditors actually hired Wigglesworth, Leighton, Moyers, and Chance to reconcile bank records from 2020 to 2024?
I don't object because I don't think that's a fact that's in the record, so I'm not sure how he could or could not be aware of it. He said he doesn't know what the document is. There's been no testimony at present that anyone was hired to do anything. So if Mr. Bleak would like to try to get that in through someone's testimony who knows about that, fine, but I think we should move on from this.
It's a fair question. You can ask.
Are you aware that the auditors, I think it's PKC, hired another company to reconcile bank account statements for the period covering from December 31st, 2020 to 2024?
I don't know who they hired, sir.
Would this be information that you would have reviewed as part of your report?
Not necessarily, because I was looking at what Ms. Todd had or had not done. Looks like it's directing what someone else is going to do. I was looking at the actions of Ms. Todd.
Okay. What if part of her, well, I'll move on. I'm gonna alert you to Exhibit 22.
Whose exhibit?
Todd's exhibit. Before you look at that document, let me just get some, is it fair to say that all the documents you were presented with were presented to you by town council?
Most of them, yes. I received a packet of documents from the attorney that retained me. They had a whole package of information which contained a lot of these documents, as well as witnesses provided, other records and documentation, as well as things that I had asked for.
Okay. Did you ask for all documents from the auditors?
I did not ask for documents from the auditor.
You didn't ask for any correspondence regarding between the auditors and town of Greenwood?
I asked for correspondence, yes, that's when I contacted them. I had emails provided, saw emails in Ms. Todd's account, reached out to them to clarify, get context and validate those.
Okay. Do you reckon, this is a PKS letter dated February 21st, 2024 to the town of Greenwood from PKS regarding status of audit. Do you recall reviewing this as part of your investigative report?
I do not. We get a lot of stuff, but I don't recall this one specifically.
Well, I believe you testified, and maybe I'm wrong, you can correct me, is that everything you reviewed is part of the exhibit list of the town of Greenwood, excuse me. Shouldn't have pronounced the name of the town wrong, but.
I'm sure your question we asked, all the exhibits that are in this other book, yes, that was part of they were all reviews as part of my investigation. Was that your question?
Yeah, are there more documents other than what's in this book that you reviewed as part of your investigation?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. And you didn't bring any documents with you today?
No, sir.
Okay. And you don't recall, appears to be, talks about a status of an audit.
I'll try to see the same thing I'm looking at, yes, sir.
Yeah, the status of an audit for 2020, 2021, and 2022 from PKS to the town of Greenwood, correct?
That's what it says, yes, sir.
Do you agree that's something that should have been provided to you?
I don't disagree, but I don't know how it may or may not have weighed into my decision. I have to read this, I have no idea what the letter actually says.
Okay, do you want to a minute to review the letter to see if it would have?
If you want me to, I can read it.
Sure.
Sure. Okay, I've read it, sir.
And it looks like it talks about the audits for 2020, 2021, and 2022 being on hold, correct?
That's what it says.
Is this information that would have been pertinent to your investigation?
Yes, it just confirms that they were not completed and not done in a timely manner. So this just tells me that as of 2024, 2020, 2021, and 2022, we're still not done. And they're still looking for records from 2020. They're almost complete. So it just kind of confirms what I was hearing from other witnesses, that this process was significantly delayed and not completed.
And is it your position that the fact that the audits were delayed, by definition, is Ms. Todd's fault?
It's her responsibility, as I stated, to make sure they're done in a timely manner. You know, your question goes much deeper, I'm just looking at what you gave me here, it just confirms that they weren't done.
Okay, so, I mean, you're not an auditor, right?
Are we still talking about this exhibit, or are we?
Well, you can keep it there for a
Okay,
second.
all right.
We'll move on. I'm just asking questions. You're not an expert regarding the auditing process, right?
That's correct.
And you didn't, and if I understand your testimony, you didn't really get into whether or not actions prior to Ms. Todd being town manager delayed the auditing process at all. Is that correct?
There was nothing to indicate that anything before she became town manager contributed to these problems.
Okay. Maybe I heard you wrong before, but I believe you did receive information that there were problems with accounts that led to the delay in the audits during your investigation.
During the investigation, there were problems with accounts, led problems to the audits. Yes, I did testify to that.
And that was prior to Ms. Todd?
I didn't say that.
Okay, so were you ever provided information that prior to Ms. Todd becoming town manager, there were issues which delayed the auditing process?
Well, actually, contrary, I had asked to see the previous 4 or 5 audits, because when I talked to the auditors, they said a reasonable amount of time to complete an annual audit would be, you know, anywhere from 3 to 6 months. So I looked at, were there delays in the previous years? As I look back just at the dates when they were submitted, they were all within that 6-month period of time. So at that point, it did not appear there'd be any substantial delays, much like I was investigating with Ms. Todd on these years.
And you talked about, and I believe your investigative report says Ms. Todd did not provide documents on a timely basis, which prevented the audits. Is that correct?
One of the factors that delayed them, yes.
Okay. And can you show me what email,
Back to this binder,
yeah, it states that?
I don't know which email specifically. Without going in, as I mentioned, that we went through them, there was emails requesting information, there was delays and correspondence back as related by witnesses and correspondences.
Show me the correspondence, show me the documentation where Ms. Todd is not providing documentation that's delaying the audits.
I don't know if I can provide exactly which one, but there are numerous. We can take time to try to go through all this, but it was stated by witnesses and confirmed through emails to validate their statements.
Okay, show me the emails.
I don't know if I can do that right here on the spot without going through every email and things that are in here.
You put,
listed.
So I'm gonna object because, you know, I had the investigator during my direct go through and look through exhibits. And that may take some time, but he did it. So I think, you know, to ask that question, you know, and say, well, show me, okay, well, Mr. Bleakwood had these exhibits, he can point the investigator to an exhibit and ask a question about that if he wants, but I just object to the form of that question.
all right, let's go to the, and I'll move on, you know, and Mr. Takala's point, let's go to the email exchanges here, okay?
Which book will answer?
And we're gonna go to the Town of Greenwood book.
Thank you.
So, and I'll go specifically, and I think specifically in your investigative report, right? It says, Ms. Todd did not provide documents to the auditors on a timely basis, right?
Well, that's what it says, yes.
Okay. And you said in your investigative report, that's pursuant to, like, you documented, that's documented through emails, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna go to the emails between Ms. Todd, I believe it's exhibit 25. And there's a bunch of emails between Ms. Todd and PKS.
And
I'm just looking at, and I believe they start off. April 10th, 2025, I'm looking at, that's a date stamp 708.
April 10th, 2025, yes, sir.
Does it talk, is there anything in this email that shows that Ms. Todd is not providing documentation to the auditors?
I have to go through this one to see if this one particular exchange has it in there.
Well, you can go, I asked you about anything, and I got, Mr. DiCarlo objected to that, so I'm going through email by email.
Okay, well, if you need to give me a time, or if you want me to look at a specific one.
I'm starting with the first one, which is April 10th, 2025, at 7:08, date stamped.
And just because we chatted, tell me exactly the question you want me to answer so as I get through it.
Your investigative report, right, states, Mrs. Todd, one of the findings was that Mrs. Todd did not provide on a timely basis or delayed over and over providing documents to the auditors, right?
That's in there, yes, and that came from emails and interviews with the auditors.
Emails, interviews with auditors, okay, so we don't have any interviews, right?
I interviewed them, yes.
Okay. I'm just saying, I don't have any transcripts of
No,
any
we do not
interviews.
have transcripts.
I don't have any notes of the interviews, but at least you tell me there are emails that document this, right?
There are emails documenting back and forth, requesting information and making numerous requests, not in this batch. But remember, I had access to all of her emails, and she has thousands of emails as you go through,
Okay.
looking at specific areas, so,
I appreciate that, and I think I had talked to you, like, I asked this, and I don't mean to confuse the point, I'm just saying, you told me the universe of documents that you had were in this town of Greenwood package here.
they are included in it, yes.
So those emails that you're talking about, that you relied on as part of your findings, should be in this group, right?
Not necessarily, it could be there, it could be, she has all of her, I did not download her entire Outlook account. She's got thousands of emails. I was shown through witnesses and sent through PKS and interviewing them that there were significant delays in getting correspondence there. If they're not in here, there were ones that I had reviewed showing repeated responses and requests for information, still waiting on it. There were some emails with Janet said, I'm sorry for the delay, I was here or I was there, so, which led to support the fact that they were not delivered in a timely manner.
I'm sorry, it was my understanding that I thought there were emails in this that Mr. DiCarlo had said, hey, if I have specific question of specific emails to ask you about, and these are the only emails we have between you and, that have been shown between Janet and PKS, correct?
In exhibits here, yes.
So did Mr. DiCarlo show you any emails where it showed delay in Ms. Todd providing documents to PKS?
Not Mr. DiCarlo, no, it would come from witnesses and either PKS or witnesses from the council or the ones that I have reviewed on her account.
I know, we're in a hearing today is what I'm
Yeah,
asking. Mr. DiCarlo,
No, Mr. DiCarlo, no, I got the initial download of emails. If it was there, you asked me specifically if he did. No.
what I'm asking is Mr. DiCarlo wanted me to point out emails if I had questions regarding, you're saying there's really, you don't believe there are any in this batch?
Not in the small batch you're showing me here. I don't know of anywhere else in this package, but these do not specifically address a delay verbatim or delay by Ms. Todd. To answer your question, no, they do not.
Okay. Now, you had testified regarding this finding that Ms. Todd did not follow a directive for PKS to appear at a hearing, correct?
Yes,
And one of your testimony, you said she had conflicting stories on why that happened, right?
yes,
Okay. And one of her points she made was that PKS usually have to, like, they used to have to be booked months in advance, right?
That was one of their emails. It said normally we book out, but they could certainly make adjustments as needed.
Yeah, but that's one of the reasons why Ms. Todd offered that they couldn't appear at the hearing, is that they need more time to, appear, correct?
That's one of her reasons, yes.
Okay. And that's confirmed in this email, these are emails, right?
And these emails, yes.
Okay. And the other issue was that she believed other council members were talking to PKS already, correct?
That's what she told me.
Okay, that's also confirmed in these emails, correct?
Somewhere, in I believe we read them earlier, and I believe they said they were not contacted by, or they were not having any conversation with other council members on the July meeting. Their first time hearing about the July invitation was the 5 days before, when Ms. Todd sent the email.
In her explanation to you, she believed other council members or other individuals from council were communicating with them, right?
That was one of the reasons she gave.
Okay. If you could go to Bate Stamp 712 for me.
Okay.
And there's a July 11, 2025 email where Ashley Stern just talks to Janet and says, I just spoke to a council member.
Hit me to the paragraph, because I'm looking on the page. Is it on the email, right in the center of the page, sir?
Yeah, it says, Janet, I just spoke with a council member, correct?
Oh, okay, yes, I see right here. Sorry, it's right below where I was looking. Yes, I just spoke with a council member.
And she also, so that confirms that other council members were reaching out to PKS right around this time, right?
That's the same day that Janet had reached out. That's within that 4 or 5 day window I had mentioned.
I understand, but it's true, what Ms. Todd told you was true, that other council members were
Yes.
reaching out to communicate with
That's what this
PKS.
email says. I just spoke with a council member, so I agree that's what it says.
Do you have any doubt that that happened? That
No.
didn't- okay. And it also talks about a call scheduled with the mayor also, correct?
I currently have a call scheduled with the mayor on the 16th.
So there are at least multiple individuals from council talking to PKS, communicating with PKS at this point, right?
It appears so.
And I believe one of your criticisms was, of Ms. Todd was that she was trying to control information, correct?
Yes,
And that's why she didn't want other council members or the mayor to talk to PKS, right?
I believe that's what I said.
If you look on Bate Stamp 711 for me. So July 11th, 2025, 1:20 PM.
Okay.
What is Ashley Stern saying from PKS?
You ready here? Do you want me to read it?
Well,
What she's saying is she'd prefer to have just one point of contact, not 3 or 4 with different requests, which has been happening.
could that perhaps be the reason that Ms. Todd should be the point of contact? Because Ms. Stern is telling her, I don't want all these people contacting me, this doesn't make a lot of sense?
She says she
I'm gonna
wants,
object to that question because there's no allegation whether or not Ms. Todd should or should not be a point of contact in the scope of the report or really anywhere that I'm aware of, so I'm not really sure that's relevant.
Okay. Now, you testified that one of your issues was that Ms. Todd was trying to control information, right?
I did.
Now, you also seem to criticize Ms. Todd for her April 10, 2025 email where she talks about clarification on issues raised by the mayor. This is Base Stamp 710.
Okay, thank you, sir. I'm not sure of the question. I'm at the big stand.
Yeah, it talks about good morning, and Miss Todd asked that PKS clarify some things stated at the council meeting last night, correct?
Okay, yes, sir.
And you stated that she was looking for protection,
I don't think I said protection. I think,
or advocate, I'm sorry.
yeah, I think Mr. DeColo asked me, what did I draw from this, looking at it, that appeared to be looking, I think I used the word advocate.
Okay, Ms. Todd had no control over how Ms. Stern was gonna respond to this email, correct?
I think that's a fair statement.
She could have said yes to all of them, saying, yeah, you really, that she was doing suspicious things, or she was mishandling funds, correct?
Say that again?
She was doing suspicious things or mishandling funds, correct?
I'm not sorry, what is your question about that? I'm sorry.
Well, you already testified that she had no control over how, she didn't know how, Stern was gonna respond, correct?
I agree with you on that, yes.
And going to Bates stamp 769,
709?
709, I'm sorry. This is Ms. Stern's email back to Janet Todd. And Ms. Stern's saying back that I'm speechless at this point. At this point, I think the best thing to do would be to get the mayor, council members, yourself and us in a room and not in public session where there is political motive. To me, it seems anything we say is getting misconstrued and misunderstood and is impeding our progress and is costing the town more of our time. You don't characterize, would you characterize Ms. Stern's email saying those statements, those assertions made by the mayor and two council members as incredulous at this point? She's saying she's speechless?
I'm objective to the form. I don't think there's anything in front of us about anything the mayor or two council members said. I think it's a summary from Ms. Todd.
You rephrase?
Well, Ms. Todd is summarizing what she believes, accusations of what the mayor and two council members said the night before, correct?
That's what she wrote, yes.
And Ashley Stern saying she's speechless at this point, correct?
That's what's written here.
And she's concerned that politics is getting, that there's a political motive and things are getting misunderstood, correct?
That's what she writes.
And do you know why you wouldn't include that in your report?
Include what, sir?
The fact that, well, you included in your report that or you at least testified that Ms. Todd is